along with cucumbers and more broccoli stuff, I guess. And we've got our pumpkins and winter squash down the road, half mile. We've got potatoes there, about 2, and like flowers and strawberries, an orchard, an apple orchard.
Oh wow.
So this is the wash station. It's kind of where we do all the packing, and the kitchen, and the interns live here or next.
Okay, hi, I'm Christina, and I'm here at Oceanair Farms with Paul Madera, and we will start on our interview. So, how long has this farm been around?
Well, Christina, this farm has been here in Fort Dick. This is our 4th season that we're farming here in Fort Dick. Although Julie, Joe, and I started Oceanair Farms 7 years ago in Arcata. We were renting land down there. So 5 years ago we came up here, bought the property, and this is the 4th year that we've been here in Fort Dick.
Okay. Where do you guys sell your products?
Well, we do a Wednesday farmers market in Crescent City and in Brookings. We do a Saturday farmers market in Brookings and in Crescent City. And we do a CSA box program. It's like an entire season's worth of produce in a box. We're boxing them up today on a Tuesday to deliver to Fort Dick. We do a Friday delivery to Crescent City. And it's basically 20 weeks of produce starting in June going through October. It's called a farm share or a harvest box. So those are the ways we get our stuff. We do a little bit of stuff into some restaurants and the natural food store. And we hope to do more of that in the future.
So how come you guys don't sell in like local grocery stores?
It's been kind of an experience thing. When you're selling to the grocery store, they want a set amount, a set order. They want consistency week after week. And you know, if you remember that we're the ones sitting here planting the seeds, growing these crops, it's actually a real challenge to fulfill these orders. Versus like the farmer's market, you just kind of bring what's ready that week. If you've got a little less strawberry that week, no one at the farmer's market is going to cancel their order from you. So the store order really takes some experience as a grower, and this is just my 7th year. This is Julie and I's 7th year being our own farmers, kind of our own bosses, so we still have a lot to learn. And I think we'll get there. I think that's what we'll do.
So what makes your farm organic?
Our farm is organic because we don't use any chemical synthetic fertilizers or pesticides or herbicides. That's something that a weed killer that's chemical based. The only chemicals on the farm that we use are fuel for the trucks and tractor and lubricants like oil and WD-40. There's not any chemical input in the farm at all. We use compost, like a dairy cow compost and a chicken manure composted. We use naturally mined minerals to adjust the pH and to add nutrients. And we do a lot of work by hand.
Okay. And how does the farm help the community?
Well, the first thing we do is we provide healthy, safe, nutritious food. That's the very first thing that we do to help people, I think, and in exchange for money or help sometimes. We also kind of provide a place for people to experience, you know, what farming is like, and a place to kind of just identify with and be familiar with and know on an integrity basis that their food is safe and it's coming from a real family farm that really cares about the quality and is not out to just make a dollar.
Last question. How would you compare your prices to the organic food like at grocery stores?
I'd say we're usually cheaper. If you come to the farmer's market and take a look at our prices, most prices are less and you're getting more. It's a better value than anything in the grocery store organic.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Now we're in the Oceanair kitchen with crew leader Ross. And so, how did you get started working here?
I was traveling up the West Coast and knew that I really liked farming and stuff like that. So I essentially was giving a guy a ride from Lake County up to this farm because he had applied for an internship. And whenever I brought him up here, he ended up not really sticking around, and I ended up staying instead. And that was last year. So.
Has there ever been a year where things didn't turn out the way you wanted them to, and how did that affect you?
Yeah, sometimes, like last season, we planted a whole bunch of onions. When it came time to harvest them, it rained on them, and the way they work is that they cure in the ground, they dry in the ground, and so it had rained on them and gotten wet, and so they rotted. A lot of them rotted, and so yeah, I guess the way that affected me was it was really frustrating because we had put a lot of time and effort into it, and it just I mean, it still was good. We still had onions, but it just wasn't what we expected. So, and that just happens a lot. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for your time. Now I'm with Alex, and he is a camper here. So, what's a camper? Can you explain that?
Camper is, I guess, anybody that's coming here for a short period of time, less than 6 months. So, I'm actually traveling this summer down the coast, riding my bicycle down the coast from Canada, Vancouver Island.
So, as someone new here, how would you feel if this farm was no longer here?
Well, I guess I don't live around here, so it doesn't affect me personally too much. But yeah, I can imagine if it was at my hometown, you know, like it's pretty important to have good, healthy food close to where you live. I mean, I think we're gonna start seeing that as more and more valuable in the future, and and the community, they'd probably cry. You know, everybody'd start crying if this wasn't here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. No.